Day 16 and today's challenge, he said looking at his side, is if I knew then. A negative experience that you've learnt from, you're going to write a letter. I'm going to draw a picture and tell you a story, I think, today. Again, I'm going to be using my trusty collage method to create an image to go along with the story. So let's get started and have a look and see what's on the drawing board today. So as you can see, I've got my Modge Podge glue, my ink stick and my brush all ready to start my collage. I've got some papers ready. I'm going to start by putting in the sky. I'm going to need some ground. Like so. Going to need a chair shape, so let's put a chair shape. Now the chair shape, funny enough, is going to be up in the air, and the reason for that will become very clear very soon when I start telling the story. Some spindles on my chair. This is one of those collages where I'm just going to rip paper to make shapes that I think I might need. One of my favourite methods of creating these collagey things. There's my chair. And I can use some of these bits for the legs. And another leg in there. So there's the chair. I need a piece of paper for my head, which I'm going to put down there. I'm going to put there like that. Legs, arms. Slightly akimbo. And finally some trousers, which we will put at some funny angles, like so. Maybe like that. Finally some shoes just to add to the melee. So there's my basic collage shapes. I'm going to glue them down now and tell you the story. So during the lockdown, during COVID in 2020, 2021, that sort of time, I was doing hospital radio from home in the bedroom, and I'd set up all my equipment and I was ready to do my show. During the day, we'd had an incident outside where the neighbour's fence, and between our fence and the neighbour's fence, we'd heard a noise and we weren't quite sure what it was. And we'd found out that it was a pigeon. So before my radio show, I decided for some particular reason, and I can never remember why, I would get a broom and try and help the pigeon out from between the fence. So I'd gone to get a chair and I went outside and I'd put the chair down on some gravel, not thinking at all. And then I went to stand on the chair. And as I went to stand on the chair, my weight and the chair and the gravel all fought against one another. And for a ridiculous amount of time, I remember tumbling round and round and round. And then I ended up on the ground and I was thinking, well, that was a bit stupid. I wonder if I'm okay. And it was at that point that I noticed I dislocated my little finger. And to this day, it's still not quite how it should be. So instead of doing my hospital radio show that evening, I was rushed. I say rushed. We drove to A&E where I spent 3 hours waiting with other people to get my finger reset. There was some gas and air, there was an injection. It was quite painful for a few days. And during all this time, I'd managed to keep myself away from people, as I was vulnerable at the time, classed as vulnerable, and I was told not to mix with people. And then right at the end of the lockdown, I ended up in A&E, and then I had return trips to the hospital to make sure that my finger was setting correctly. And that's the story that's in this picture today. And my advice to myself would be today, don't stand on chairs outside, particularly on gravel. And if it's a pigeon, let nature take its course. It'll either survive or it won't. But don't worry about it. It's a pigeon, and it's your little finger after all. It'll look the same. Little finger after all will look the same again. So I hope you enjoyed that little story and watching how I create a little narrative of that in collage. I'll be back again.